Okay, here we are. After some technical issues, I have arrived. So we are continuing the playthrough of Alone in the Dark, the original, 1982. I rather enjoyed um, when I started playing it last week. It is it is frustrating, but it's okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm willing to keep going. It didn't drive me away, but it is a bit janky, for sure in places. But hey, we shall give it a go nonetheless. So here we go. I wonder what Jack in the Dark is. That's we'll have to check that out at some point. But for now, we'll stick with the main event. So let's see, where were we? Oh yes, being chased by a ghost around the library. See if I can remember the controls. Actions open. Oh, crikey. That didn't take much. Well, we're off to a rip-roaring start. We don't need to watch that. So there's a couple of books in here, I believe. Yeah, we'll take that. And I guess we'll take that too. Anything else here? Nothing there. Oh, another one. Who would have thought there'd be so many books in a library, we'll leave the oil lamp because we need that to see. If I recall correctly, this room is dark. Take that too, I guess. Do I have enough room for all these? Nothing there. Nope. Ghosts can go through the shelves, so I have to keep moving. No, leave that, please. There was down here maybe. There was yeah, here we go. There's a mechanism to trigger, but it doesn't tell you how to trigger it. I'm assuming it opens up this conspicuous looking part of the bookcase. Okay, let's keep moving. Spooky noises, great. Okay. Let's take this now. Since we're leaving. And see if we can... Hopefully he doesn't follow us out of the room. Oh, okay. We're back here. Don't approach the knight because he will attack. Okay, so let's check these books out. 3 green, 1 red. The red one is a little conspicuous, but we'll start with these. So let's see.
If Rocks Could Talk, or The Story of a Louisiana Plantation by the Marquise de Chamfray.
After the criminal selling off of Florida by the foul usurper, my father elected to remain in this inhospitable land, where we were free at least to express our royalist feelings, and hope our country would come to its senses. In 1818, a certain Pickford bought up Ledoux's land after the poor fellow had ruined himself in unfortunate speculation. Pickford soon turned out to be the most loathsome human we had ever encountered. He was an adventurer of the worst kind, nouveau riche, and bloated with a grotesque sense of self-importance. First came the incessant army of men with shovels, digging into the mountain of earth that was to fill in the surrounding swamp. The undertaking was quite stupendous. We learned from a slave that the final objective was to connect the existing caves with another one of gigantic proportions. Racked by a mania of persecution, Elia Pickford constantly fired his workers and hired new ones. He did all he could to keep anyone from learning about his plans. My father was amused and said, "The poor fool will end up getting lost in his own cave." But the walls went up, and tongues started wagging. Our detestable neighbor had been a sailor, a ruffian grown rich on questionable trade. Distasteful stories were told of him.
I should probably screenshot this. It feels important. So let's see. It's the old snipping tool. Window mode. Please. Screenshot this. Wonderful. And I'll just save that. Alone in the dark. Okay, and let's continue.
When the work was finished, Pickford invited us to the opening of his rambling mansion, which he named Derceto. My father asked what the strange name meant. Pickford answered, "Derceto reminds me of Astarte, the fertility goddess. Around here, the name is Shub-Niggurath, I believe." That a name so steeped in evil should be said aloud came as not such a shock to my father, as he himself confided in me some while later. We left immediately. In June of 1862, Derceto was burned down in unexplained circumstances. It was undoubtedly the deed of some jealous Yankee or another. It was amazing to watch the servants rushing into the flames to try and save their bullet-riddled master. After that terrible night, Derceto fell into ruin. Its blackened walls were soon overgrown, as human-built works always are, by ever-present nature. In 1875, the property was eventually bought by a gentleman whose name was Howard Artwood. I was sorry that my father, who delighted in fine conversation, was no longer alive to enjoy the company of this new neighbor. Learned and well-versed in history, he had made a particular study of piracy. It was Artwood who told me that Pickford had commanded a ship that flew the flag of piracy. That explained the scoundrel's great wealth. Artwood was fascinated by Pickford and undertook a great deal of research in an attempt to find some treasures that he was convinced the pirate had hidden. He went through the ruins inch by inch. He then had the burnt-out house rebuilt exactly as it had been, and refurbished the library that had miraculously escaped the flames on the night of the Great Fire. Artwood set about studying every volume in that library, and often talked to me of his research. He was a handsome widower, deeply attached to his son Jeremy, who was later to become a professional artist. Artwood worked incessantly, first from the room I offered him, then from his own freshly restored home, which he rebaptized Derceto. I imagine he hoped to enlist the help of the god of good fortune in his treasure hunt. As far as I have ever been able to tell, all his searching came to nothing. There were no lost treasures to be found at Derceto. I learned of Artwood's death while I was in Paris. But that, as they say, is another story.
Well, there you go. And let's look at... let's see, 3 more left. Jeez Louise. Okay, let's go. Here we go.
Unfinished chapter of Terra Incognita by Jacob van Ostade. A hitherto unpublished fragment of the manuscript unearthed following indications furnished in the Vatican Library's Expurgatory Index.
In those icy and unwelcoming lands, the rites of wizards and healers are deeply rooted in ancient legend. Mysterious and cruel beings are thought to have ruled over the Arctic plains in times past. A cursed city, enclosed by massive walls, is believed to stand to this day. It contains fabulous treasures and is inhabited by the degenerate descendants of those who instilled centuries of terror in the hearts of the people. These people, naturally placid, are seized with rage and horror at the very mention of the prisoners of the ice. Were these dreadful captives to be freed from their frozen cells, they would reap a horrifying tribute of human flesh. These blood-curdling beings may be invoked by certain ritual words. They can even be controlled, albeit with the greatest of difficulty. I admit to being impressed by these tales, repeated to me on many occasions and in a number of different places during my travels in the region. I have also seen troubling cult objects, sculpted in a material unknown to me. Another remarkable fact is that local Eskimos experience great distaste in pronouncing certain words, and invariably avoid saying them. Here is a living example of the power that words contain. As it is said in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word.
Go very, very exciting. I'm not even sure if the content of these books is important, but may as well go through them. You never know. We never know when one of them will contain a very important piece of information. And at the very least,
Sons of the
they get
Sun
read
and
to
of
us.
the Shadows. Lieutenant Lope de Vega's account of his astounding travels to the land of the Aztecs.
"Holy Christ!" cried Captain Cortez, astonished by the strange rite we beheld. We found the savages half naked. They were throwing balls of silver and gold at each other. They laughed as if demented, clearly maddened by some heathen drug. And yet, should one of them fail to catch the ball thrown in his direction, the poor devil was seized and dragged off to be sacrificed in their temple.
I'm pretty sure I read this one in the last stream. But I probably got killed by the ghost after reading it, so it's still being marked as unread. So But we can listen to the rest of it because I don't actually remember much about it.
As we discovered, this frightful game was a ritual most holy to them, and symbolized the movement of the heavenly bodies. The dropping of a ball foretold a catastrophe. That is what the Aztecs believed in their godless ignorance. Their countless deities could only be appeased through endless human sacrifices. The victim's heart, which was still beating, lay in the hand of the murderous priest. The interior of the temple was surprisingly cool. The weight of our armor, our exhaustion, even the burden of our suffering, they were all banished by a sense of awe that the crudely magnificent altar instilled. In the tomb-like silence, a deep voice chanted an incantation. The majestic statue of the water goddess, Chalchihuitlicue, seemed to throb with vitality. This massive stone, draped in a golden cloak and studded with precious stones, was coming to life before our very eyes. Horror of horrors! The granite eyes of the statue, empty of life only moments before, were now injected with blood. We staggered back in amazement. Dom Jose was taken by a fit of convulsions. He tried to raise up his crucifix, as if to ward off an attack by demons. The heathen priest laughed cruelly. The statue's mouth cracked open in a deathly grin, bearing teeth sharpened to dagger points. Captain Cortez cried, "Attack!" But it was no use. We were glued to the spot. First, we were unable to move. Our armor seemed to be bolted to the temple floor. Our legs weakened, and we collapsed in a thunder of steel. Only Cortez had the presence of mind to unsheath his dagger. He hurled it at the cackling priest. 4 inches of the finest Toledo steel buried itself in the heathen's face. His blood spurted, splashing the now lifeless idol. We picked ourselves up with difficulty. Never will I forget that terrible moment. My companions, naturally enough, told tales of devilish enchantments cast upon our armor. Whatever the truth of that, I could not deny that the supreme god of the fourth universe had treated us as mere playthings. I am convinced that a terrible energy is yet contained within that heathen statue. A power strong enough to change a proud conquistador into a helpless puppet. Drawing of Chalchihuitlicue by Dom Jose de la Sierra, done before the destruction of the Aztec temple of Tenochtitlan.
So I think in one of the rooms there was a little statue that I couldn't pick up because I didn't have enough inventory space. I'm guessing that's what that is. Little possessed statue thing, so that's pretty groovy. And the last one is this book, which is red, which is different from all the others, so it better be important.
Fragments of the Book of Abdul.
In the antique city of dead Relaya, Cthulhu dreams and waits. In the pit of time, the unspeakable lies in wait. That is not dead which can eternal lie. Relaya, your blocks of stone seal the ritual that gives birth to fear. Cthulhu Fatang! Cthulhu Fatang! Ayah! Ayah! Let he who knows how to invoke the stones act. It is time. Let the shadow of Cthulhu darken the sky. may the servitor of the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs sound his flute in honor of the unspeakable. Cthulhu Fatang! Cthulhu Fatang! Aya! Aya! May he who may not be named cast his withering gaze upon the unbeliever, for he is the door, the key, and the guardian of the door, and holds you now in his immense power.
Well, there you go. That's certainly something. Wait a second. What? What? The book killed me? Ah, come on. Right, well. That's not remotely fair, but okay. Fine. I'm not going to fill up my inventory with these books. I've read them all now, so let's just move on. I can't trigger the bookcase mechanism yet, I don't think. Oh no, come on. Okay, so can't go down the other end of that hall. Oh my god. These movement controls are so janky. Right, I just want to pick up my lamp. Right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Right. How do we put it away? Select fight, we'll do that. Okay, please don't attack me. Okay, cool. Now, all the junk that I've thrown away to free up inventory space is now just lying everywhere. Okay, box of biscuits, groovy. Pot of soup, sure, why not? Anything in here? Oh, don't disturb the ghost, because the ghost will kill me. Do we really need the dramatic music? Come on. Come on. Trying not to get too close to the ghost, because if you trigger it, it kills you. Okay. No, don't need that. Okay, see you later. So let's see, where else can I go? There's the meat tunnel in the basement with a big worm that kills me. So that's no good. There's... This statue has an arrow, I think. But when you take it, you get killed by spiders. So that's also not ideal. Yes, an arrow. Take the arrow. Ah, okay, several arrows. Yep, okay, right, see you later. Bye. Can I fight them? He's just like, nah, I'm not gonna leave the room, mate. You're alright. So what the hell do I do with the arrows? That's yet another question. Killed all the zombies in here. And then we have the smoke room with the smoke that kills you. But I got the lighter out of there. I don't know if there's anything else that needs. Will not stick around in there. Random spooky noises. I don't think those noises indicate that anything is about to happen. Also, running is like totally random. I don't know if an enemy has to be nearby, but I can't seem to figure out how you make him run. He just kind of does it. Whenever he feels like it. It's locked. I don't have any keys, do I? Not it. Four knives, dresser key, chest key. Oh, I have a bow. I guess that's what you use the arrows for. It's a bit random, but okay. Perhaps there's a need for a stealthier weapon than the guns. Is the pirate still in here? He is, yeah. Alright, yep. Just be on my way, thanks. I'm not sure how you killed the pirate either, because he seems to dodge all your attacks. Guess we'll give the bow a go. Come on. The combat is equally as awkward as everything else. You have to hold in the space bar, and then you have to press forward. They're all very hold in the space bar, and then forward. Great. Yeah, he just backflips over everything. But since I didn't actually manage to aim very well, I'll give it one last try. Yeah, I mean, at first it seems like you're hitting him, but it seems to take like an unlimited amount of hits. We'll just give the gun a go. Like, am I hitting him? Does the backflip mean he's getting hit, or does the backflip mean he's dodging? No enemy should be able to do this many hits, so I'm assuming there's something else to it. Try throwing a knife at him. No, I don't think that's the way forward. In any case, I'm not even too sure there's anything in there that I haven't already seen. I did get past him at one point. He got stuck on this door, and I snuck past him and explored the room. I can't remember what I got out of there though. But there is another door in there. Let me just see. It's probably locked, but let's take a look. Let's see if we can. Hey, man, come on, this way. Yeah, let's leave further. Oh no, you don't turn around. Okay. Yeah, not getting past him. It's clearly not the way to do it anyway, regardless of whether or not I can get through that door. I need to find a way past him. This door, front door, has some demon that just eats you. So that's an insta-death right there. This door's locked. Where else can I check? I've got so many items, and yet I don't know what to do with most of them. Like, a bowl of soup, what are you supposed to do with that? Is that a health item, or are you supposed to use that for something? Not a soup. Eat, drink, I'm gonna... yeah, okay, that's probably a health item, as are those. I wish you could see your health. You just sort of get told whenever you're about to die, and that's about it. There is a ballroom with a bunch of ghosts, but they didn't like this music, which was a bit of a pain in the ass because I had to drop off my inventory to pick up the bloody gramophone. That's something you had to do too. To carry the gramophone around with you if you want to play music. A lot of weapons. I think most of these are just weapons. And keys that I don't really need anymore, and books that I don't really need anymore. Don't know what you use the matches for. Don't know what the jug is for. Okay. Yeah, no, I guess you have to fill it with something. So let's see. It's an empty med kit, if I recall. That I freed some space up with. What's he doing? Oh, he's in a fighting stance. Nothing important. Let's check these drawers. Nothing important. Yeah, I think we thoroughly looted the kitchen. There is no water, if I recall. No water. Not that I would know what to do with water, even if there was. Love that camera angle. What are these? A box of shoes. That's kind of a weird way of wording that, but was this water? Use the jug on that. Fill the jug, oh yeah. Kinda want those shoes though. Let's get rid of the book. Stop trying to fight everything. So it wasn't a box of shoes, it was a shoe box. There's a box of shoes is a box with shoes in it. A shoe box is a box for shoes, but not necessarily containing shoes. How can I... So I can't carry the revolver, even though... Right, let me see. Drop that. There is no room. No, leave me alone. I need to drop something else so I can open the shoebox. Drop that. Open this, take that, and then an empty shoebox. Yeah, see. Now you've got it. Okay. I don't want the book. I love his wee searching animation. He just sort of scoots around like he's dropped his glasses and can't quite see. Okay. Let's reloaded the revolver. Okay, great. So now we've got yet another weapon. Although I've been just kind of fighting hand to hand with everything because it's just kind of the easiest way of fighting. And I don't want to use it. I have that old survival horror mindset of, oh, I don't want to use any of my bullets, and then I'll probably reach the end of the game with a full armory in my inventory because I didn't want to use anything. Right, I don't think there's anything else down here. These spiders, who I'm actually going to need to get past if I need to get back into the ballroom, so I might have screwed myself on that front. Probably going to have to fight them. Let's see, can I kick them? Brilliant. I think I am dangerously low on health, so let's eat a pot of soup. But yuck, some human flesh? Ooh, okay, let's eat the biscuits then. You feel better, that's what I like. So we can't eat the soup because it has human flesh in it, so I guess we use that for something else. And let's see if I can kick these spiders to death. Oh no, he's not fighting now. No, don't high kick them. That's no good. Well, and how do you kill something that's on the ground? Yep. Unfortunately, there's no way of like directing your attacks to a specific direction, so he's going to overshoot the spiders every time. There has to be a way of dealing with them though. I always live in fear that this is the kind of game that you can soft lock yourself in, because it was relatively common back then for these kinds of games to provide you with an unwinnable scenario. But I don't want to be making a separate save file every time I do something, because that's going to get real messy real quick. Check the basement again, but I don't. There's just a bunch of psycho rats in the basement that I also can't seem to kill. Yeah, there he goes. I can at least attack them, but they don't ever seem to die. Yeah. Yeah, you want some of that? Yeah! Punch them! search these shelves, see if there's anything I missed. They can attack each other as well, which is kind of funny. But they only do so in the process of trying to attack me. Would you run? Would you just... There we go. How do they just hold it in? I don't know. A horrible noise. Nothing there. Pretty sure I fully looted this place. Don't scoot your way all the way over. Nothing there. Anything here? Nothing there. Nothing there. And then I doubt that I can beat this thing, but we'll give it a go. Oh god. Brilliant. Okay, so the basement is a no-go. So we'll go back upstairs. Can't see anything else down here that is worth looking at. Bath thing. Do not want an empty first aid case. Pull the rope. No. There's nothing there. Okay. Fully looted this room. This is the room with the statue in it. Might need to grab it. I'm gonna have to free up a little inventory space to do so. Okay, suppose I can take that back, can I? Can't. Okay. So you have to deal with the other painting some other way. Nope. around. Push this early, can you? Yeah. Well, maybe there was something behind it, but perhaps not. Okay, so cannot carry anything else. It's also labeled as very heavy, which suggests that perhaps I need to ditch quite a lot of stuff to actually carry it. Let's see. Down the pot of soup. Look at the size of it. Why? Okay, well, I guess all I had to put down was the soup. The ludicrously large pot of soup. How to find what to do with it.